anime fans, I'm Kyle Glockner, and welcome back to Animate. Anime as a genre can be really unpredictable in the sense that the length of a series can be generally unpredictable. There are 13 episode series, 26 episode series, 51 episode series, 64, 100, 200, 300, whatever One Piece is at. There's movies, one-off OVAs, mini OVA series, the list goes on and on. Today though, I want to focus on anime movies. Almost everyone has seen an anime movie at some point in their life, be it part of their favorite series or one of Studio Ghibli's legendary films. But just last year, there was one anime film in particular that shattered a ton of records worldwide and dug its way deep into my heart as one of my favorite animated works of all time. I'm talking about Kimi no Na wa, or Your Name. At a first glance, Your Name appears to be the typical boy meets girl love story with a bit of supernatural thrown into the mix. We start out with the perspective of Mitsuha Miyamizu, a girl living in the small lakeside town of Idomori. She goes through her day hearing about how she seemingly forgot who she was the previous day. After a day or two goes by, we see Mitsuha wake up in the body of a Tokyo boy named Taki Tachibana. The next day, Taki wakes up in his own body, learning about his own forgetfulness of the previous day. Mitsuha and Taki eventually figure out that they are switching bodies on random days. They begin to adapt to each other's lifestyle, communicating through diaries left in their phones by each other. Now, I can't really talk about much after this point in the story due to spoilers, and I do believe that this film is best experienced firsthand. But rather than spend all day talking about the plot, I want to talk about what makes this movie so great. I feel as though the story itself, while almost perfect, does have a few parts I wasn't too fond of, or I didn't really think connected as well. Towards the end, the movie seems to fall back on the whole don't think about it and it works trope. And honestly, it does. Even with these imperfections, Your Name's story is one I immediately fell in love with. It strikes a wonderful balance between slice of life and supernatural, and if I had to give it a percentage, I would say Your Name is 75% slice of life and 25% supernatural. The body swapping scenes between Mitsuha and Taki can fit whatever mood the movie is trying to portray at that moment. They go from whimsical and funny to emotional and sad, and I could see how, when done poorly, this same concept could make a terrible movie or series, but Your Name pulls it off almost flawlessly. Another aspect of this movie that I love is the music. Performed by the Bad Radwimps, each piece of music in Your Name complements each scene perfectly and adds so much emotional impact to each and every scene. A lot of the music sounds sorta ethereal, making you feel like you're experiencing a dream, and that fits with the theme of the movie. Speaking of the theme, to me, it seems like the theme is the idea of youthful hope, or a feeling of familiarity. Through body swapping, Mitsuha and Taki have a feeling of familiarity with each other, but they can't really say that they know each other. This makes them both feel a little conflicted about the whole situation. Just imagine if one day you woke up in someone else's body. Imagine that every couple of days, you had to live their life, interact with their friends and loved ones, and take care of their body, hoping that they do the same for you. You might start to feel like you know them better than anyone else, and that wouldn't be untrue. You would have to learn them in and out in order to pretend to be them. But at the same time, you don't really know them. You've never met them, you've never spoken to them directly before, you've never even seen them with your own eyes. This would understandably create some complicated feelings within yourself, and might almost feel like a dream. But that's what makes Your Name so beautiful. This movie makes you feel these things just by watching, and lets you feel like you relate to the feelings of the characters, even though you may not have felt anything like this before. That's not even mentioning the ending of the film, which is one of the most hopeful endings to a story I've ever seen. It's just open-ended enough to be arguably more satisfying than a finite conclusion. Overall, I think Your Name is a near-perfect film and deserves every bit of praise it got over the past year. It feels like a fusion between a Ghibli film and a modern anime series, and they fuse so perfectly that it creates one of the best film viewing experiences I've ever had. Your Name was directed by Makoto Shinkai and produced by Noritaka Kawaguchi and Genki Kawamura, and it was distributed by Toho. I really like it and would recommend it to anyone who enjoys anime or not. That's all the time I have for today, but let me know what you think by tweeting me at ZTV Goofing Off using the hashtag Animate. Until then, I'm Kyle Glockner, and I'll catch you next time on Animate.